Hi, this is your Hispanic conservative, the VIPA. Welcome to inTruthNews, where truth is in the news. In the latest news, Trump wants to debate Biden. For good reason, because that way it'll prove more and more that Biden can't even talk. The thing is, Biden turned him down. Watch this.
Well, it's on like Donkey Kong. Former President Donald Trump is now challenging President Biden to a rematch on the debate stage. ASAP. Trump says, quote, "I'd like to call for immediately debates. I'd like to debate him now because we should debate. We should debate for the good of the country." Well, that's very clear. But Biden was quick to brush off the idea. And is this the one where he's still drinking a smoothie? Yeah, watch.
Mr. President, Donald Trump said he's ready to debate you right now. Do you accept?
Pardon me?
What to debate you immediately, you said.
Immediately?
Yes.
Will you debate him?
If I were him, I'd want him to debate me too. You got nothing else to do.
Kayla.
I've got to tell you, I am shocked by this communication strategy, okay? You have what is described as a great jobs report, at least the top line number. He hides, as Politico points out, these strikes on Iran. He hides on Iranian proxies. He hides from the Super Bowl interview where you could have millions of people watching.
Trump says he'll do it.
Trump will do it. Exactly. You don't hide from a national audience when your poll numbers are as low as Joe's are. And I read Andrew Bates. This is the deputy press secretary. This is what he told Politico. President Biden's crisscrossing the country at a rate that often exceeds his predecessor's travel schedule, said no one ever, as Trump did like 5 rallies a day. And you think this man's beating him in travel? Love to see those stats. Andrew, tweet them at me. And then finally, I know the real reason he's hiding, and I just wanted to play it because he has moments like this. Watch.
Right after I was elected, I went to what they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said, how long are you back for?
So he recently met with Mitterrand, except this is an image of Mitterrand's funeral in 1996, so that never happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion there. He didn't know if it was Germany or France, what year it is.
After hours and hours and days of deliberation on the impeachment of this Mayorkas, Alejandro Mayorkas, the Republicans, the rhinos, came in at the last moment and switched their votes. McClintock and Gallagher. Goes to show you who these people are, that they can be bought and they can be threatened to do whatever they're told. And they're not truly for this country. This man should have been impeached. Watch this.
So finally getting some clarity here on exactly what happened as they move on to another vote now. The impeachment vote of the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has failed. It was tied for a moment there at 2-15 apiece. And we've now learned that one person had changed their vote. That was Blake Moore, the Republican out of Utah. He, along with Ken Buck, Tom McClintock, and Mike Gallagher, all voting no on the Republican side. Of course, a very thin line there when it comes to the majority in this Mayorkas impeachment vote, so it has failed here.
Well, now we're beginning to see the product of an uncontrolled border. What we're seeing now is lawlessness that is happening Now within New York, within Chicago, and all the major cities that have attained these illegal immigrants, we're going to see a lot worse. Maybe it's time that we need to prepare ourselves for an imminent attack. What happened to the policeman the other day in New York was an atrocity. What happened to this poor old woman, what they just did to her, was an atrocity. All these people that have come over the border, especially men of military age, we need to watch ourselves. We need to be prepared. Watch this.
Migrant lawlessness is getting worse in liberal cities. A gang of moped-riding illegal immigrants have been terrorizing New Yorkers by snatching cell phones right out of their hands. One horrific video showing a 62-year-old woman being brutally dragged across concrete, slamming her body into a steel pole and leaving her bruised, and then stealing from her. 2 were arrested, and cops say it is connected to at least 62 grand larcenies. Police are still searching for the group's ringleader. Today saw a little bit of justice come for the migrant men who were caught beating 2 New York City police officers and then given no bail. Homeland Security picking up some of the suspects wanted at a Greyhound bus station in Arizona. And earlier today, the one and only suspect who was actually held on bail was in court. A grand jury voted to indict him on a felony charge as he pled not guilty. And you know the migrant crisis is bad for Democrats when Al Sharpton is using this language to describe it.
You're getting migrants beating up policemen in the streets in New York. You're seeing an influx of migrants all over the country that frankly have people outraged. We're looking every day at the invasion of migrants.
Oh, really?
I have to say this, people, that this fake usurper government that's in place right now has failed every true American person that exists, has failed the world entirely. We've allowed so many people to invade through the border. There's terrorists, there's military-aged men, them bringing children over for sex trafficking that are now being found all over the world. This government has failed the American people. And I don't say that word lightly. Failed the American people. What has to take place and what will take place, and what I truly believe, is that God is in control. In the very end, he will have the victory. Now, what we see on the media, what we see going on, we can never look at that as real truth. But we have to weigh everything in the balances of God. The way you're going to have to prepare yourself and your family and your children is to tell the truth and to pray. No matter what happens, God is always in control. Always believe that. Well, that concludes our show today. This is the Hispanic Conservative, the VIPA, and this is inTruthNews, where truth is in the news. We'll see you real soon. God bless you.